Oedipus the King, a classic Greek tale of fate and tragedy. Jocasta tells Oedipus not to believe in prophecies. There was a prophecy that her son with Laius would one day kill Laius. To avoid this, they had a slave kill the baby. Years later, Laius was murdered at a place where 3 roads met. This makes Oedipus remember something. Someone once told him that the king and queen of Corinth, where he was raised, weren't his real parents. He talked to an oracle who said nothing about who his real parents were. However, the oracle said that he would kill his father and marry his mother. Panicking, Oedipus left Corinth. On the way, Oedipus killed a rude man at a place where 3 roads met. A messenger from Corinth comes to Thebes to tell about the death of Corinth's king. He also reveals that Oedipus is the adopted son of Corinth's king and queen. Later, the shepherd who saved Oedipus from the slave who was supposed to kill him is questioned. He provides important proof that Oedipus is Jocasta and Laius's son. Horrified by their sins, Jocasta dies by suicide, and Oedipus blinds himself. Oedipus asks Creon to take over Thebes and banish him to end Thebes' suffering.
Welcome back, everyone, to English for You. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And in our last episode, we learned about the drama of Oedipus the King, a classic Greek tale of fate and tragedy. Today, we'll continue to find more interesting twists and turns in the story. Remember, Oedipus is on a quest to uncover the truth, but the answers he finds may be more than he bargained for. So everyone, let's dive deeper into this captivating tale. Are you ready, Elsie?
Yes, I am.
All right. Jumping back to our article, everyone, it says, Jocasta tells Oedipus not to believe in prophecies. There we see the phrase believe in. Believe in is to think that something is true or that someone is good, reliable, or able to do something.
Believe in something 或是 somebody 那就是相信点点点是好的正确的或是相信点点点的存在像是呢我们可能常问别人说你相信有鬼吗 Do you believe in ghosts 好就是说 believe in 后面加上 ghosts 这个名词那另外呢 prophecy 是个名词代表预言所以呢 Jocasta 她告诉她的老公 Oedipus 说你不要相信预言
Right, so he's like, don't believe in these prophecies. They're not going to come true. It's just a myth. They're not real. Well, back then, they were taken very seriously, everyone. It was almost, if it's a prophecy, it's almost to these people back then, it will for sure come true.
Whoa.
So by Jocasta even telling Oedipus not to believe in it was almost kind of taboo or something that you don't really say. So, jumping back into our article, now he says, there was a prophecy that her son with Laius would one day kill Laius. There we see one day. One day refers to a point in the future or a specific day in the past.
One day 指的就是将来的总有一天或是过去的某一天所以这边说到曾经有一个预言说呢这个他和 Laius 的儿子好就是现在的王后跟他前夫 Laius 的儿子有一天会杀死 Laius
Wow, so that's a pretty big prophecy, right? Well, moving on from that point, it says, to avoid this, they had a slave kill the baby.
Oh, so this is according to Jocasta, right?
Exactly. To avoid this, like we read, they had a slave kill the baby. Well, we see the word slave. Slave is a person who is owned by someone else and is forced to work for them without pay. An example we could use using the word slave would be in ancient times, many people were taken from their homes and forced to work as slaves.Slave
这个名词呢，指的就是奴隶，所以这边呢，王后 Jocasta 她就说，为了避免这种情况，他们早就已经让一个奴隶去将那个婴儿杀死了，避免那个婴儿长大之后来杀死自己的爸爸。
So this is a very common theme in these older Greek stories where, something as a prophecy has come to pass and they're saying, oh, okay, we need to get rid of this baby because it's going to do something bad in the future.Well, jumping back to our article, everyone, it says years later, Laius was murdered at a place where 3 roads met.
多年之后呢 Laius 竟然在这个3条路交汇的地方被谋杀了。So he was still murdered, right? By somebody.
Exactly.
那动词 meet 这边呢，它用来表示路径河流区域的交汇或是相交。那这边用到的就是过去式 met。So if the baby had been killed, who could have murdered Laius?如果婴儿已经被杀掉了，那是谁来把这个 Laius 给杀了呢？ Unless the baby was still alive.
Wow, you look like a detective, putting all the pieces of the story together. Well, continuing everyone, it says, this makes Oedipus remember something. Someone once told him that the king and queen of Corinth,where he was raised weren't his real parents.
OK, 所以听完这个 Jocasta 告诉他的事情之后呢 Oedipus 他就想起了一些事。曾经有人告诉他说呢，他在科林斯被抚养长大的这个国王还有王后并不是他的亲生父母。So does that mean, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Could it be that Oedipus is that baby? And if so, it would mean that Oedipus unknowingly fulfilled this prophecy.
He murdered his father?
We don't know yet. Well, let's continue. He talked to an oracle who said nothing about who his real parents were.Continuing, however, the oracle said that he would kill his father and marry his mother. Say what? Kill his father and marry his mother? That's pretty gross.
哇，所以他就去问了一位神谕。那虽然神谕没有说出他的亲生父母亲是谁，不过呢，就先预言说他会杀死自己的父亲，并且娶了他的母亲。
Right. Imagine going to one of those readers or psychic readers in the market and them telling you that you will kill your father and marry your mother.
Jesus.
Not okay. And exactly, that's how Oedipus felt. So our article says, panicking, Oedipus left Corinth. So we see the verb panic. It's to feel sudden, strong fear that makes you unable to think clearly or act normally. An example sentence using this word, we could say, when the fire alarm went off, everyone panicked and ran out of the building.
Panic 这个动词呢是感到惶恐或是惊慌失措。那它的三态呢要特别注意过去式跟过去分词，你要加上一个新的字尾 K， 再加上 ED 才可以。Oedipus 他惊慌失措，于是就离开了他原本的家乡科林斯这个地方。
So are you on the edge of your seat? Do you love this mystery and tale so far?
I do.
All right. Well, continuing everyone, it says, on the way, Oedipus killed a rude man at a place where 3 roads met.
好，在离开这个科林斯的路途上面呢，他就在3条路的交汇处杀死了一个无理的男人。Who was this rude man?
All right. Well, digging deeper, it says, a messenger from Corinth comes to Thebes to tell about the death of Corinth's king.
Messenger 这个名词呢是信使、信差，那它传递的讯息叫做 message。所以课文说到啊，一位来自科林斯的信使到达底比斯这个王国，然后告知说呢，科林斯的国王已经死掉了。
Continuing with our story, it says, he also reveals that Oedipus is the adopted son of Corinth's king and queen.
OK， 这个 messenger 这个信使信差呢，他还顺便揭露了 Oedipus 他其实是柯林斯国王和王后的养子。He was adopted。那 adopted 这个形容词呢，就是被收养的或是被领养的。原形动词呢是 adopt A-D-O-P-T， 像是呢 we adopted our cat， 我们领养了的猫咪，用到就是这个字。
Yeah, it's one of the best decisions we've made.
Yes.
All right, well, jumping back to this interesting story, it says, later, the shepherd who saved Oedipus from the slave who was supposed to kill him is questioned. There we see the word shepherd, which is a person who takes care of and watches over sheep. An example sentence using the noun shepherd would be, the shepherd guided his flock of sheep to a green meadow to graze. Next, we see the phrase be verb, supposed to verb. When we see that phrase, it's used to say what is expected or intended to happen.
好，整理一下咯。我们首先看到的 shepherd 指的是牧羊人。那课文当中用到 the shepherd who saved Oedipus from the slave 指的就是当初从奴隶手中救出 Oedipus 的牧羊人。那就是在说当时 Oedipus 是一个婴儿，是一个小男婴，然后呢这个牧羊人把他救了出来。那奴隶本来要干嘛呢？各位同学们记得吗？ He was supposed to kill Oedipus。 奴隶呢是被雇用来要杀掉 Oedipus，因为他当时是个男婴嘛，然后呢有预言说他会长大之后把自己的爸爸杀死，所以他们就雇佣了那个奴隶要来杀他。所以呢我们刚刚看到的 be supposed to 加上原形动词就是应该或是应当做某事。
Well, I guess it was a good thing that he didn't kill Oedipus, or maybe he should have killed Oedipus. What do you think?
对啊，那个奴隶是应该要杀掉他还是不要杀掉他呢？It is a good question.
All right. Well, finding out more, our article says he provides important proof that Oedipus is Jocasta and Laius's son. There we see the word proof, which is a noun. It's information or evidence that shows something is true or correct. An example sentence using this would be, the detective found proof that the murderer was at the scene of the crime.
Proof 这个名词呢就是证据、证明或是证词。所以课文说到的是呢，后来那个从奴隶手中救下 Oedipus 的牧羊人就被审问了。他呢提供了关键的证据，证明 Oedipus 他正是 Jocasta 还有 Laius 的儿子。So there was proof.
There was proof, and it's all coming true. This prophecy is correct. Continuing, it says, horrified by their sins, Jocasta dies by suicide, and Oedipus blinds himself. There we see, everyone, the noun sin. Sin is an act that is considered to be wrong according to religious or moral laws. An example sentence using sin would be, in most religions, stealing is considered a sin. We also see the word suicide. Suicide is the act of intentionally causing one's own death, killing yourself, right? So an example sentence using suicide would be, the community organized support groups to help people dealing with the feelings of depression to prevent suicide.
Sin 这个名词呢是罪或是罪孽，那 suicide 就是自杀，不过它是一个名词的形式哦。那我们还看到 horrified， 好，这个过去分词为什么会出现呢？因为原形动词 horrify H-O-R-R-I-F-Y 它指的是让点点点感到震惊或是恐惧。那课文当中呢用到分词构句，因为呢原本的句子是 because Jocasta and Oedipus were horrified by their sins. Jocasta dies by suicide and Oedipus blinds himself. 那做完省略之后呢，我们就看到了过去分词 horrified 在句首出现。 那这句话的中文在说的就是因为对自己的罪行的恐惧 Jocasta 他就自杀， Oedipus 他则是刺瞎了自己的双眼。
It's kind of, it's kind of sad, right? All these things happen. Well, what's our final wrap-up in the story? It finally says Oedipus asks Creon to take over Thebes and banish him to end Thebes' suffering.
Creon 就是 Jocasta 的弟弟，对不对？
Yes.
那 Oedipus 就说那你就来接管底比斯吧，还有你把我我就是 Oedipus， 你把我直接流放，这样子呢才可以结束底比斯的苦难。所以流放、放逐，把点点点驱逐出境，我们用到的动词就是 banish。OK， 那接下来我们就要进到 For You Check question. Adam, would you believe a prophecy about yourself? Why or why not?
Good question. I wouldn't believe a prophecy about myself because it's difficult to take something that seriously without evidence or without proof, right?
Yes.
I want proof. And I think people have the power to shape their own choices, their own destinies through their choices and actions, rather than a piece of paper telling you, oh, this is what will happen in years down the road, right?
Very true. But for me, if it's something good, I would believe it.
Okay.
If it's something bad, I wouldn't believe it.
So if you had a prophecy that said, in 5 years, you will be winning the lottery.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Would you believe that?
Of course.
Okay.
And I would just keep buying lottery tickets.
So it would also change your perspective then to kind of keep doing that. So you're trying to fulfill the prophecy. All right. Well, what do you guys think? Would you believe a prophecy about yourself? Why or why not?
OK， 喜欢今天的主题吗？你还可以到空中家教和真人老师互动练习哦。For English for You, this is Elsie.
And I'm Adam.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Slave. Hattie was forced to be a slave on a farm, where she worked hard without pay or rest. Panic. I started to panic when I realized that my cat wasn't anywhere in the house. Shepherd. The shepherd is thinking about selling his sheep to buy some cows instead. Proof. The video shows proof that this man stole some valuable items from the store. Sin. Maggie had done some bad things. She went to church to ask forgiveness for her sins. Suicide. The police thought the man died by suicide, but later they discovered his death was an accident.
智慧小补帖
Messenger. Adopted. Rescue. Horrify. Banish.